Welcome back. This is Tea Time on Plus TV Africa. Up next, Mavin boss Don Jazzy advises artists to engage with their fans. This comes after a post from Chris Brown on his Instagram story. Chris Brown was promoting his latest album by teaching his fans what to do in order to get his album to the #1 spot. Don Jazzy tweeted, and I quote, "Dear artists, times have changed. This Chris Brown's post is enough to let you know that water don't pass Gary. Engage with your fans. This is not the time to form jugunu for algorithm or Twitter and Insta algo no send person." End of quote. I think he was talking about Twitter and Instagram algorithm. Basically, there's no other word to use, but it's one thing they use to measure how many people they serve your post to, and that has been a big deal to those who understand that social media is there for business for them. Yeah, so that's basically it. So what's up? What do you think?
Well, I think what he said is the truth. I think a lot of musicians, artists generally need to start interacting more with their fans, regardless of the status you may think you have acquired and all of that. Like, for example, Don Jazzy is one person that you don't see them troll a lot, and even when they troll him, he would be the first person to post it.
This is from way back.
Yeah, and he would be the first person to post it, you know, trying to, Chai, you people have finished me, or, you know, with that type of caption, and then he gets everybody talking.
Trolls himself,
like, he trolls himself, like, he puts stuff out there, and you see the engagement, and then we know that he's also one of the most philanthropic Nigerian celebrities we have, because he's always trying to help people one way or another, doing giveaways. So you can't, that's why when he's so successful, it doesn't come to me as much of a surprise because of his humility, his person.
Yeah, I know you mentioned that one time.
Yeah, and all of that. So I think it's just preaching what he practices.
You feel me?
I want to know what Jungundu means.
Let's not go into that.
I have no clue.
But yeah, absolutely right. I think the technical aspect of social media makes it a lot more serious. It isn't just about popularity, and understanding the algorithms, like you mentioned, is super important. And I think that Chris Brown's post from the beginning was actually pretty smart to actually get them engaged and like, listen, fans, we are aiming for this particular thing. And it wasn't like, and I think what I respected from Chris Brown, that it wasn't done in a really dodgy way. Like, you see some people who are trying to tell you to do something, to try, and but you have to now start dissecting, what does this guy want from me posting this? Chris Brown was straight
to the point.
Yeah, he was very straight to the point, and I like how he was really transparent with his audience. And it would be nice to see that amongst our Nigerian artists. I don't think I've ever seen that from anyone, really. Like, guys, support, we're trying to get this, we're trying to do this, this is how you're going to do it. If you do this and do that.
And I think it's also a case of him not just coming out now to do this. He's always been engaging. Like Chris Brown.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, his page is a page that, even if he doesn't reply all responses one after the other, his captions are just very endearing, and he knows what his followers want. So it's easy for him to come out to do this and know that his true fans will, you know, not someone that will come out and tell you, people go and eat, have you eaten today, what is wrong with you, is that why you're trolling? any bad comment is from a hungry person, you know. At that point, when you see something from them and they want you to promote, you think about it and like, do I really want to do this? So I think the communication is important. How did he put it? Interact with your fans better. It's actually very important.
Yeah, also, you have to start seeing like how important the fan base is, because now we have to listen, we have to share, we also have to market. Like, this is proper marketing. So if people can start to see, like, in this day and age, and how everyone is getting a fair chance. I was just thinking about it the other day. Like, back then, you could count how many songs came out, how many movies came out, because the spots were very limited. And when one came out, one just came out. It wasn't a lot of people.
Lasted for a while.
And now you have all these platforms that anyone can make it. So like, there has to be a lot more effort into why you're going to listen to you. And like you were just saying now, like, they have to start putting more effort into the fan base of that, and not just when you need it, but like constantly. Not just
understand the human angle of the algorithm too. All right, up for conversation is something from Prince William. He says, "I will be fine if my children were gay." He said he will fully support his children if they were to be gay. He made this statement when he visited a charity that helps homeless LGBT people. I naturally want to come to you with this one.
I think for the LGBTQ community, LGBTQ plus, etc., this is a huge deal. Like, it's a big deal because imaging is everything. From marriage, back then there was a time in society where marriage never used to be cool until the big people started getting married. And then it was religion, and then it was smoking, and then it was like making weaves and wearing exposing clothes. All the things that have changed in our society has been boiled down to image. Who's doing it to make it look justifiable? There's not that better PR for the LGBTQ community than the royal family of the UK supporting that. So I think it's a win for them. I also like how he answered his questions, that he wasn't naive to the idea, because you see some celebrities who try and, like, let's say they want to support the black community, then they start getting colorblind. And there's no color in this world, and we're just all people. Like, he understands what he's supporting. He knows that this lifestyle that you are saying you don't mind your kids having, it's not an easy one. He understands the reality. He's down to earth. He's telling people he feels the struggle. I think it's amazing to see, because obviously it's a very controversial topic and coming from him. And if you follow the interview, he also mentioned how it's probably even going to be worse for his kids, knowing that there's so much pressure already on how they dress. Is it going to be how is it going to be perceived and all of that stuff. So big ups to him.
Yeah, I totally agree with everything Ife just said, because that was what I picked up from the story as well. But I like the fact that he also pointed out the fact that, yes, I may support this, but at the end of the day, no, he said he will, not me. He will support them if they come out and say they're gay, but he knows how difficult it would be for them, considering the fact that they're royalties. You understand? That is even going to be, because there's a lot expected from them already without being gay. You get now, not to now talk of being a gay royalty. That's going to be so that's going to break the internet, I guess. You get, that's going to be a whole lot of pressure. That could be very, 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 it could be a global dilemma, should I put it that way? Because
it's going to definitely start a global conversation.
Yeah, I think this will spark a global conversation. And like Ife said, this is great PR for the LGBT. Your Q++. etc. It's great PR for them. I'm sure a lot of them are going to.
I also like how
there's absolutely nothing wrong with being gay, I think.
Or being who you want to identify with.
And I'm glad, because I think one thing, because I mentioned, like, this is going to be the next king in the Commonwealth, and he has power over a lot of countries. And in the EU, almost 39 countries are still criminalizing it. Now, it's one thing I can never ask anyone to support the idea or, like, really embrace it and put it into my personal space. But it's another thing to say you want to criminalize a consensual act, you know. So I like that he's also bringing into play that aspect of things. That, guys, criminalizing is a bit extreme. And then also now talking about parenting, which is also a very big thing in the community right now. Parenting our boys' rights, parenting our girls for the society, parenting black men, and now you're also talking about parenting the gay community. So it's a very good dialogue. And I mean, obviously, for you to start a charity, you had a passion for other people's pain. So,
and he said he's always at that he would be lying if he said he hadn't thought about it. That the moment he started having kids, he started thinking about this. What if my kid? What if? What if? Considering
I'm not having kids yet, but I'm thinking about it. Heaven
no, I don't think our own culture is going to promote that or even make you scared. If it happens here, you would know that it's 1 out of 10. But over there, it's like.
What do you mean?
It's more acceptable over there.
1 out of 10.
That is exactly where we're wrapping up on this episode of Tea Time. Remember, you can always be part of the conversation by using the hashtag Tea Time on social media or tweet at us at +TV Africa. Until then, my huge thanks always will go to my co-anchors Ife Oshunke and Ife Omai and the entire production team. Also, big shout out to our stylists Liz Harrison and Kudis Empire. My name is Elsie Godwin saying thank you for watching and do enjoy your evening.
You're watching +TV Africa, and this is Tea Time.
I loved the energy when I came in here. It was so positive. I was like, I can't live here.
My real names are Akbofiofobo, Akborubomemere.
I think my father is a comedian, because most times when he calls me, he's like, yo, make sure you use condom. You know, them girls out there.
So are you telling me I should have shot my shots? Ife, you have a younger brother. Age is nothing but a number. What? I'm a vampire.
I believe in equal rights for women, and I also believe that a man is the head of the house, so we need to draw our limits somewhere.
Feels so good. Now can I do my jam now?
Yeah, you can.
Welcome to Tea Time on Plus TV Africa, where we analyze the biggest entertainment stories. My name is Elsie Godwin, and we're here with Ife Oshokeye and Ife Omai.
What's up?
Hi.
All right, how you doing?
Well, how are you?
I kind of missed you too.
Really? That's good. Missed you.
Okay, so let's dive right into this one. Wole Soyinka's son writes open letter to Tonye Cole. Ife, you're rolling your eyes already. So
This is something, you know, like my...
Still starts.
First of all, I don't think the message needed to be that long. It's not that deep. It's just to see. And if he's saying that his father probably is old and missed the numbers, and is this and that, and he didn't seem to be having any problems with it, then what's all the speech after that? Like, you should have just said that. I understand Wole Soyinka is an honorable citizen, and that's undisputed. But all that story just had a little bit too much entitlement, in my opinion. This isn't about history. It's not about who you laid your life down for. It's just a seat. And like you said in your text message, in your epistle,
open letter,
your epistle, that the guy was in his rights, and they keep going back to this thing of like making this man look like he's just a disrespectful person. If it was in a different context, I'm always chatting about context, even with feminism, I said there's context. If it was in a different context where he could have, and there was no other reason not to, we would understand. If this man wasn't being rude, he hasn't done anything wrong.
If you're okay.
Well, for a professor's son, I felt it was a bit incoherent because it was all over the place. First of all, I didn't know who he was supporting. I didn't know whether he was supporting the young man or supporting his father or supporting Tonye Cole, because it was just everywhere, in my opinion.
Yeah, from what you're saying, it seems he was out to just bash people's opinion on social media.
Because it felt people were coming for his father, but this is... I think he would have probably had an opinion if it wasn't his father as well. He would have probably said something. So, and I think this is an issue that was already dying. It was dying a natural death anyway. So, and then you just came to ignite the fire. I think people just don't know when to let it go. With due respect, I didn't get any message from this because I feel like you still want to put it like, we're losing our standards, we're not respecting our elders, what happened to those days, but not with the sense of entitlement like you made it. Yeah, don't make it sound like that. If the young man wasn't rude in any shape or form, then he wanted a seat, he wanted a seat.
End of story. And I've been saying this from the very first time we talked about this story. Wole Soyinka, as far as I'm concerned, has not said anything. The letter allegedly sent to Moabuju or something, I still don't understand that letter, and I don't think it was a letter for her to share. It was his personal opinion to her. So, on that note, I think we should be done with this conversation.
He said he hasn't even spoken to his dad about it.
So why are you sending the
I think
whole,
everybody's just trying to become popular on this story, including him. Forget the fact that he's the son. He wants us to know that, I mean, this is the first time I'm hearing about
I think the
him,
overall message, even though it was all over the place, was still supporting the older people, because he said, I didn't know, he congratulated Tonye for fighting the father's battles and all that stuff. It was just also very interesting for me to see how it was easy to bash social media. Yes, they might be trolling and people have an opinion, but you cannot eradicate the fact that we've used social media to change a lot of things, to shine light on other things. So just to outrightly call people warriors and all that stuff, it's like most of the time your money comes from these people. Marketing is done on there.
Went on exile and when he came back,
like all that story, like we don't need that
aircraft and all of, like, come
and
on.
I want you to, when you get older, you started having that curse statement, like more as well. When you get older, they'll do it for you. Like, relax.
You need someone to carry your bag and all that.
When we were going down from the plane, if I was the guy, I would help Wole Soyinka carry his bag from my own seat. Like it's. Well,
I think he should have just stopped where he said probably if Wole Soyinka took the seat, because that made sense to me at that point. Only
the shaking thing.
Yeah, because I can imagine how many people will be starstruck when they see Wole Soyinka want to. And then I've met him a couple of times, and I know he doesn't grant interviews. He doesn't like to talk at red carpets and all of that. So he's someone that probably wouldn't want that attention. So if he had stopped there, I would have been like, this is a great letter. But he went on, and then he lost everybody.
Right now, I wish Tosi Odumfa was Wole Soyinka's son, because I mean,
he
was fair and he was smart.
Yeah,
all right, let's move on quickly to the next story. Cardi B pleads not guilty to new charges. According to Billboard, the rapper appeared in court on the 25th of June for an arraignment hearing where she pleaded not guilty to the new felony charges in connection with a 2018 strip club fight involving a bartender and another co-worker. She's facing 2 felony counts of attempted assault as well as misdemeanor charges, including harassment, reckless endangerment, criminal solicitation, and conspiracy.
Let's see how this plays out. She's supposed to be back in court, so when she gets back in court, we'll see how this plays out. But I just have a feeling this is going to be settled out of court now that is getting all this attention and all of that. Very soon, the case has been dismissed, all the charges have been dropped, blah, blah, blah. I guess that's what's going to happen. But definitely, because they said they're facing nothing less than 4-year jail sentence.
But you know, initially, there was a plea deal that she turned down. Are you sure she would?
Yeah, no, a plea deal is totally different from
settling out of court.
Settling out of court.
Well, that kind of attitude is making me worry that would she even want to settle out of court? Because usually people take plea deals if you want to like settle out. But I hope it's good. I think the only thing that really just threw me off a little bit was when she was like, "I'm not going to jail. I have a kid." It's like, honey, majority of the people in prison have kids. That doesn't like justify anything at all. So I was just like, girl, you need to take this seriously, because having culture or not doesn't justify nothing.
Action.
So get a good lawyer, be on top of your game, settle if you need to settle, take a plea if you need to take a plea, but do whatever it takes. But don't be saying that you have a kid. Like that doesn't change much.
All right, let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll have more stories for you. We'll be right back.